Right, good morning or afternoon, depending on when you're listening to this video. It is Friday. Congratulations, you made it through the week. We are on to almost our last review day. We're going to have one more review day on Monday. But we're going to spend a little time over here with percents, okay? And so those of you that have had this lesson, you guys are going to remember that this is also going to be a fishtail. Those of you who have not, a fishtail basically helps us find for a missing proportion, okay? We did it yesterday with ratios and unit rates. Today we're going to do it with proportions and percents, okay? And so if you guys remember, even if you don't, we could spend some time talking about it. If you guys remember, we talked about when you read these sentences, we need to identify the ofs, the is, and the percents, or whatever we have. So right here I have 25% of 8, and then remember we want to box what we don't know. We need to break up this information. The number one thing you guys are going to do wrong is you're going to set it up wrong. You're going to put the is where the of is, or vice versa, okay? And so we have identified correctly the percent. So we have 25%. We have of 8, but we don't know what my is. Sounds funny, is. All right, so our equation for today is over of equals percent. And I always ask you guys, all percents are based out of 100. So no matter what you guys get, you're always going to know all percents are out of 100. So even if you don't have a percent, you're going to know whatever percent we solve for is going to be out of 100. And we hopefully will get an is or an of. Okay, one of the two. So we need 3 of the 4 options to complete this fishtail. And right now I have a 25%, so that will go with my percents. I have an of, and I know all percents are out of 100, so we're going to be solving for is. So let's fill this out. I said I like to start in order. So 25% percents are out of 100 equals, I don't know my is, but I do know my of. Oh, look at that. Looks like a fishtail. If you guys remember, we always start with the incomplete ratio here. So we're going to cross multiply, divide by 100, and bring it back. So let's get my trusty calculator here. And 8 times 25 equals 200. 200 divided by 100 equals 2. So let's ask ourselves, does this make sense? Does 2 out of 8 sound like a 25%? Yes, because think about it. Half of 8 would be 50. I'm sorry, half of 8 would be 4 out of 8. That'd be 50%. 2 is half of 4, 25%. Boom, makes sense. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, same concept. We have 21 is, we have 42%, and we need to figure out my of what number. All right, so remember, is over of equals percent out of 100. All right, sorry, I'm writing with my cursor. I left my iPad and I didn't use that. It's a lot easier with the iPad. All right, so let's set it up. This time I have my is. So remember, is go on top. I'm solving for my of, so I don't really know. I have my 42%, and all percents are based out of 100. So we'll start here, cross multiply, divide, bring back. All right, let's do it. So 21 times 100 divided by 42 is 50. So let's ask ourselves if this makes sense. We're looking for a 42%, right? So 42%, would this ratio equal 42%? Well, half of 50, so like 50% of 50 would be 25. because I'm just kind of rounding here. 42 is close to 50. 21 is close to 25. It makes sense. It's in the ballpark. I think we're right. Okay. All right. A couple more here. So we'll identify what we know. We know my percent. We know my of. And we're solving for my is. Excuse me. So we don't know my is. We're going to set it up. Don't know my is. I do know my of, which is 110. I do know my percent, which is 40. And all percents are based out of 100. Right? So again, we're going to start with our incomplete ratio here on the left. Divide, or I'm sorry, cross multiply, divide, bring back. So get your calculators out. Make sure you have a calculator for this. You need a whiteboard and a calculator, definitely, because today's assignment, you're watching this video and then you're going to have to turn around and do it on DocHub. So there's no paper pencil today, okay? So make sure you have your calculator. 110 times 40, and we're going to divide that by 100, and we have 44. Well, that's pretty close because we want 40%. Well, 110 is really close to 100, right? And we want 40%, but 110 is a little bit bigger than 100, so that's going to make this a little bit bigger. Perfect. Makes sense. Okay? Last one I'm going to do with you here. All right, so 73 is, ooh, look at this. What? That's our key word. What percent? So today we're solving for this one, we're solving for percent, and we know our of. So remember, they can put this in any variation. They could put the missing piece at the beginning, in the middle, or the end. So make sure you're looking for those key words, the whats, the is's, and the ofs, and the percents. Okay? So I know my is 73. We identified that just now. I know my of, it's over here, which is 292. So we know our ratio. We're going to solve for our, well, what percent is that, right? But we know all percents are out of 100, okay? So you need to look at this ratio as like a really big test, right? You took the really big test, and it was worth 292 points. You only got 73 answers correct. The number one question you guys asked me is, well, what's my percent? Is it an A? Is it a B? Well, let's find out. So remember, we're going to cross multiply from my 100 to my 73. You always start with the incomplete ratio. And then I get some big number here, and we're going to bring down and divide by 292. And we're going to bring it back. So, believe it or not, you had a grand total of 25%. So no, you did not pass the test. Okay. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to have you pause your computer. I'm going to have you do number 5 on your own, just on your whiteboard. See if you can set it up. See if you can identify it. And then when you're done with it, you're going to unpause it, and then we'll work through this last problem, number 5, together. So I would highly suggest, you don't have to write the whole question on the board, but you need to sit here and identify what you know and what you need to solve for. That's going to be your number one problem, is making sure the problem's set up right. The fishtail concept's super easy, but setting it up can be a little tricky, okay? Pause me now and solve it, and then unpause it to make sure you got it right. All right, hopefully by now you have solved it, and let's solve this together, see how well you did. All right, so the first one we know is we have 150%. We know we have an of, and here we go, is and what are connected, so that means I am looking for my is on this one, okay? So here we'll build our little ratio comparison here, and we know right now all percents are out of 100. I have 150%, means I did really good on the test, right? I don't know my is, because is what number, but I do know my of, which is 96, okay? So we will cross multiply, starting with the incomplete, divide, bring back. Always start with that incomplete ratio, okay? So 96 times 150 divided by 100 is 100. 144. So you guys got to think of this as like extra credit, right? I got extra credit on the test. Okay. So there was 96 total questions with possibly some extra credit in there, and I hit every single extra credit. I got 150%. Okay. All right. So you guys are going to be looking for percents worksheet. You can watch this video again. Keep in mind, we also have a percents video, blocks 2 and 3. There is a percents video on our website if you want to watch that as well, if this wasn't enough of a reminder. And my advanced class, this is the only video we have, so you can ask questions, you can watch the video again, make sure you take some notes if you need it, but the worksheet's going to look very, very similar to this. You need to identify your is, your of, and your percents, and remember all percents are based out of 100. Please turn that assignment in when you are done. When you're done, you're going to have some Prodigy time, and then hopefully you guys are good enough and have enough time that you guys can do a proportional bingo, okay? All right, hope you guys have a great Friday, and I will see you Monday. Bye.